Hello guys, this video I'll be showing you guys what caused my gas gauge to stay on E, and I'll also show you how I replaced the fuel pump, which ultimately wasn't the problem, but I'll show you how to change it without dropping the gas tank in my 2008 Grand Prix. So first off, with my gas needle, I'll show you guys, well, describe what it used to do. It's fixed now, so it doesn't do it. So what it would do is it would come up to how much gas is in the tank, and then it would slowly go down to E, and it would just stay there. So initially I thought it was the sending unit on the fuel pump, so I ended up replacing the entire fuel pump, and it still had that problem. So from there I pretty much just looked at a bunch of wires. First thing I did was turn the battery on and shook a bunch of wires that led to the fuel pump. Nothing happened. So the next thing from there, I went under the hood, and if you look right here, you'll see how this line is chafing on the engine belt. Get out the way. This line right here is chafing on this belt, and what it did was it chafed through the line completely and caused about 3 wires to be cut through. So initially I was going to cut through those wires and reconnect them, but the moment I took it off of this belt, the problem was fixed. So what I'm going to do is just wrap it up and zip tie it away from this belt. And in my case, that was the problem for my problems with the gas gauge. I read a lot, I saw a lot of videos on here about people that having the same problem but just couldn't figure it out. Well, so that was the problem in my case. So now I'm gonna explain how I changed the fuel pump. So first thing I had to do was pull fuse number 15. Actually, it's fuse number 22 right here. Have to pull that. That's what powers the fuel pump. That's the fuel pump fuse. So you would have to pull that, and from there you would just turn the ignition and keep it turned until the car dies. And you want to do that about maybe 5, 6 or 7 times until it dies by itself, and that'll initially bleed this fuel system for you. And what I have back here is a hole that I've cut open to change the fuel pump. Now, in 2006 and up Grand Prix models, they have an access port that allows you to have access to the fuel pump to change it and do everything, whatever you need to do with it. For some odd reason, I don't know why, for 06 and up, they stopped making that. So from 06 and down and earlier, there's an access port. So with that being said, I had to cut a hole in it basically to avoid dropping the fuel tank. So another thing with cutting this, if you're gonna replace the fuel pump, you want to come to about here. So probably just come down here, and if you want to make it one clean cut, that's how you would do it. I was off on the first cut, so I had to cut this little piece off besides that. And what you also want to do is be very careful, because this portion of the gas tank is sitting directly under the metal, touching it. So what I ended up doing was cutting it a little bit, but not too much, because that would have been bad, really bad. So, and that's on both sides actually, right here from here. So that piece and that piece. Let me get a little light. So that's the section right there. So from here to here and here to here. Be very careful with that. And what you want to do is you want to bring it back to about right here. You can go further, which I did. I didn't know. I went all the way to this little groove, but it won't matter, because that from here on back it won't bend. So it's kind of like a access door. But moving on. So let me show you guys the fuel pump that's in here. Give me a second. So this is the fuel pump that we took out, and there's a slight difference between the two. So if you notice, you can tell that there's 3 lines here, and there's an open vent hole right here, which I ended up having to close, because if you look at the stock one, I'm not sure if it was very important, but I just sealed it for precautionary reasons. This side is sealed, but the fuel pump that I bought had it open. Same fuel pump, just this is open, was open. So what I did was basically took a round yellow plastic piece. I had a spare one around here, I just can't find it anymore. So kind of put some epoxy on the tip of that, stuck it in, and then I basically just caked it around there and sealed it. Now it's hard as rock. So on other cars, this is where the vent line would connect to, but on the Grand Prix, that vent line is connected right here to this line that runs through here. So with that being said, that's pretty much the only thing that tip I would have for changing the fuel pump. From there, it's pretty much self-explanatory. There's other videos out there that'll show you detail how to replace it. I'm not gonna go too in depth with it, but that's pretty much it. So as far as the gas gauge, the problem was chafe wire on the engine belt, and this is the modification that I had to make on the fuel pump. And yeah, that's about it, you guys. Hope this could help anyone.